Let's talk about it. Now let's get chatty, 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 chatty. Let's talk about it.
Buenos dias. Now let's get chatty. I'm Deanne.
I'm Lillian.
Dolores. You are now tuning in for candid conversation, unscripted conversation. You are on the right channel. Hey guys, do us a favor. If you have not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and hit subscribe. Turn those notifications on. That way you get notified.
Like and leave comments down below.
Yes.
So we wanted to do a continuation of our other video about domestic violence. We want to talk about why women or men choose to decide to stay.
Stay.
And this is just in the viewpoint of our opinion.
Yes.
This is not a professional opinion. But if you have any comments or any questions, just go ahead and leave them for us, okay?
Yeah.
So we get into the video. Why do women choose to stay in a situation?
Love.
What do you think?
Love. The children.
The fear of starting all over again.
Or the fear of being sought after they leave. Or
Yeah.
like by their, what is it, their perpetrator after
They
they
say
leave.
that most domestic violence situations that end in death is after the victim leaves.
After they leave.
So maybe that could be a strong fear for them as well.
Yes, of course. And also traumatic bonding. So
Traumatic bonding.
traumatic bonding, which is like basically
yeah. I get it. It took a minute. I got
ties
it.
into your emotions, and you know, when you going through the situation. I was thinking about this as well. I was like, I could imagine if someone is getting used to possessing you,
That's a good word.
and then you'd be like, you had enough. They're like, wait a minute, I possess you. I can do what I want to do, you know.
That's good.
So
like,
that's why it could kind of lead. I feel like that's why it could lead to something more physical as far as like killing someone.
That's
It's
good.
like if I can't have you, I don't want nobody else to have
that's
me.
what I hear often. A lot of people are like, if you know, people's men say or women say, if I can't have you, nobody can. And that individual pursues to next levels of aggression. Definitely. Yep.
So some other terms you probably have heard of. There's a Stockholm syndrome. That is where it's a condition in which a hostage develops a psychological alliance with their captors during captivity. Another one is the battered person syndrome. That's also dealing with the psychological conditioning. And then, you know, a lot of victims just feel always unsafe and unhappy.
Okay, can you rewind? Go back. You said the
Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome. That's where, say that again. So
Stockholm syndrome deals with the condition
where
the hostage develops a psychological alliance with their captors
okay.
during captivity.
Okay.
Because you
Very
kind of think when
interesting.
somebody is like kidnapped or taking, why did they stay?
Yeah.
After
Okay.
so long, they kind of tie into your.
Yeah, I've seen movies where women were held captive and then like they were like kidnapped, for example, and they turns into a relationship with their kidnappee or kidnapper. And is that kind of like an example of
That is a Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome.
Let's talk about
Okay,
that.
so yeah, and then the other one that you said was
Battered person syndrome.
Battered
person syndrome.
Battered person syndrome.
That's also dealing with the that is also dealing with the, I wrote it down just to make sure I didn't say it wrong, psychological conditioning.
Psychological condition. So that's where someone kind of conditions your mind to like think a certain way.
I would imagine so, because it's psychological.
Yeah. Okay. That's great. Okay. So one thing that I noticed that sometimes I feel like people just overlook is like the domestic abuse with the children that happens inside the home. And being where we are right now as a nation, there are so many people being housed inside for long periods of time, and that's rolling over from possibly a spouse to even children. And sometimes it's not isolated anymore with just a spouse. It begins to roll over to the children or whoever else is in the home. Whether it's as far as like abuse of an elderly person, people letting out their frustration and they're angry, and even sometimes their life regrets, some things that they regret in life, they're letting it out and unleashing it on an individual. And I know that now, I mean, it's an all-time high. It's just an all-time high right now because we are inside and you're in a confined space and your irritation is up.
Yeah.
Your frustration is up. Even my earring just fell. Even your insaneness, your bipolar is up. Even it's on 10 right now.
That makes me think of the Gabriel Fernandez case. I don't know if you guys seen the Netflix documentary.
I watched just a little bit of it.
A child, he was beaten severely, and it was like over a period of time by his mother and her boyfriend, which was not his biological dad. But they said that a lot of the punishment came from the influence of the mother. The influence of the mother basically telling the boyfriend to discipline him. And that just makes me think about dealing with your anger. How do you deal with your anger when you're frustrated? There's other ways besides hitting a child to take out your frustrations. There's therapy, there's stress balls, there's other ways to channel your anger, especially to prevent you from hurting someone else.
So there are like situations that allow for possibly like a girlfriend boyfriend situation where you allow someone in your home and you have children and you give that person permission to discipline your children. Like, when do you say enough is enough? Do you allow them to spank, or is it more verbal, like sit in the corner, go turn your time out, or do you allow that boyfriend to spank or whatever, take your children's cell phone away, iPad? Do you allow them to go to those measures? And then in doing that, does that give them some kind of power over your children? And they feel like I have rights over them, kind of like that property thing. This is my possession. You're mine.
I think that's where you create different boundaries within the relationship as well.
So we're going into a whole nother area. I think I think when you are going to the relationship and the relationship is new and you have someone that you don't know their history, you don't know the things that they've gone, you don't know if they've even been you don't even know if they've been like upfront with some of the stuff
That's so true. You don't know.
And then your children are a part of that are a part of that dynamic. So you add children into the dynamic and you don't know how the person that you're dating will respond to your child because this is your child. You, like she was saying, what were you saying about the mother? I think
you have to understand that you as a mother or father will only love, like you discipline out of a place of love. Other people, they may discipline out of a different place. They may discipline out of a place of anger. You love your child. No one can love your child more than you.
Yeah, people have different ways of discipline. What is it called? Disciplinary? People have different ways that they are disciplined because every individual is raised differently. And so you don't know mentally what's going on. You don't know if it's going to be like she just said, like where place they're going to discipline your child from. And I think this is still definitely talking about domestic because it's just still happening behind closed doors. It's still happening in the home. And if you know of a child that's being abused, if you know of a child that is that you are suspicious about, things that make you go definitely I would even say, is that going too far to say to ask the child?
I wouldn't say ask. I would say immediately report CPS because CPS, it's their job to investigate.
Because if you call, I think they can do like a wellness check or something.
They'll investigate. Okay. So you don't even have to ask. If they see something, it's their job to take action.
So hopefully they do their job if you call the Child Protective Services.
But I think one of the main things we were talking about is why women choose to stay.
Yeah.
And, it could be just the fear of something new, not having the economics to support themselves.
They're not able to take care of themselves on their own.
Yeah. And then you had, I feel like I heard somebody mention something before we started recording about they're so used to somebody possessing them.
Controlling them. They don't know how to govern themselves.
That's good. I've never thought of that.
Really thought of that.
Yeah, like you don't even know how to maneuver. Like I feel like that's like not preparing a child for the world, and they're out there like, huh, what do I do?
It like takes away your almost like your
ability
sense
to think,
survive.
right.
And you're like, you think it's a part of like your cognitive, possibly like just things that should just come natural to you. You start to lose those things,
and
you
not working
you
on
know
every day.
you get used to like you get used to such a routine psychologically. You get used to something psychologically. It plays an effect on you and how you make decisions. Sometimes you can just not be able to make decisions for yourself because you're so programmed to someone getting up, telling you what to do, when to do it, and giving you permission. So it's like you've been imprisoned in the confinements of your home. We want to let you know that you are not alone, that there are other women who will stand with you. There are people who will stand with you, that everything is going to be okay. If you are ready to proceed to get out, if you are 100% ready, go ahead and call the National Domestic Hotline. Someone is there to talk to you, to help you through. Even reach out to your local community or a local nonprofit organization such as a church. They are really good at helping people move, transition, even battered women shelters.
Ladies,
really
also remember that you are the rulers of your own self. You are the rulers of your own self.
Yeah, so since you watched this all the way through, we want to let you know that it's going to be
Wait,
all right.
I'm sorry. Let me do that last part again. And ladies, I just want you to know that you are the rulers of your own self. And remember to believe people who they are at their first reveal. Don't allow someone to continue to show themselves to you. If the first time they show you that they have anger issues, abusive tendencies, believe it at the first reveal.
That's what they call red flags.
Right.
Ding, ding, red
Pay attention to the red flags.
Yeah, definitely don't ignore those. Don't ignore those. We thank you for tuning in to Now Let's Get Chatty. We hope that you will take steps to bettering yourself, loving yourself even more, and loving those that are around you. And as we stated before, we're going to leave in the description box below, we're going to leave some phone numbers for you to call, and they even have, if you can't make a phone call, you can text or you can hop online and someone is helping you. You are not alone. I am here with you. Though you're far away, you are not alone. I think that's Michael Jackson. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy your lunch. Enjoy your day.
Bye. Take care.
Adios, amigos. We love you.